Okay, so what I'm focusing on in this documentary is the idea that maybe reading isn't as important as we stress it to be, especially in schools. From kindergarten through third grade, we stress the fact that kids need to learn to read. And then from fourth grade on, it's all reading to learn. And maybe going into this technology era, we need to focus more on technology. I mean, there's classrooms that only have one computer in the classroom, where when kids go home, all they're seeing is video games and TV screens. And we kind of have this bad light shining on technology right now when I believe going into the future, technology is going to be our life. You're going to have an iPad, you're going to switch the iPad, you're going to have just crap on your kitchen counter that has technology all over it. I feel like maybe technology is going to take the forefront rather than reading and writing, and we need to focus on that more in schools.
So what I think is interesting is that you say that we are a very technology centralized society now, but in order to use the technology that we are given, we need to be literate, because or else we would not be able to use computers. I mean, just starting off, when you come to your home screen already, just your desktop, you already have things that you need to read. There's, I mean, every single little link has something that's underneath it, and if you didn't know what it said, you couldn't click on it and know where it was going to take you. Or for example, if you use technology in schooling to maybe research for papers or to anything, I mean, even for pleasure, there's always going to be something on the computer that you need to have, you know, the ability to read or write. And even if later on in life or later on in the future, people don't exactly will write by hand, we still need to learn how the correct grammar, the correct way to spell things, because even if technology helps us with it, we still need to be able to
that basic reading.
Yeah, provide that for...
And I understand that too, like in just simple signage, you walk into a grocery store, you're going to need to know how to read just to see descriptions of everything. So I'm thinking of way into the future of when reading we might not even use reading anymore. I mean, our brain has this, the way it works is kind of on and off switch between like inside your brain, that's what it is, on, it's either on or it's off. And that's kind of how coding is, the like 001000. And I'm exploring this idea that maybe in the future that's all we're going to be reading is the 00100.
Mm-hmm.
And technology might be taking us there. But I feel like in schools they should be teaching us more about code and how to code things, and really how to use computers, how to just everything about computers, rather than focusing so much on just textbook learning. And also the fact that a lot of kids, or just me personally, I hate reading textbooks. I would much rather like listen to someone talk and then take my own notes,
Yes.
or watch a documentary, or see interpret dance, I don't even know, but something more hands-on. And even though we have studies on this and everyone is like, yeah, you know, hands-on stuff, that's just a better way to learn, we still have so many textbooks and articles and chapter books that we have to read. So, and I understand why reading is important,
Yeah.
you know, taking that knowledge inside your brain and writing it down in that linear fashion and organizing it takes all these sporadic thoughts and makes it basically square. But I feel like going into the future, we're going to have technology where that's not necessarily going to be prevalent. We're not going to need to take in that linear fashion, and it almost controls us too much to the point where we don't have that creative boom. Like, I feel like textbooks and things are going to really fall off the grid once we get deep into technology.
Yeah, that might be possible, that's true. But for example, I have my iPad, and all of my books are online. So I do, however, use technology to read my quote-unquote textbooks, but they're all, you know, laid out for me. So actually, I agree with you. Reading a real book, it kind of takes a long time. my eyes get tired because I'm just like, oh, okay, boring. I don't want to learn about psychology for 5 hours straight. But at the same time, having that available to me just in a smaller form, since the pages are smaller, it kind of goes by faster. So it actually kind of motivates me to actually read more than an actual textbook would. But I'm still reading, and I believe that maybe language entails not only just spoken language and different things, but I don't know, it's kind of important also for communication.
Yeah, like talking. I don't think linguistics will ever fall off the grid.
Oh no, I hope not. 10110
00110
0001110. Yeah.
But it's just a cool thing to think about. I think reading is advantageous as well as technology. They both have their ups and their downs. It's just whether or not what's going to be in the classroom in the future.
Exactly, I agree.
And what should we focus on now to prepare us for the future.
It's a difficult idea to think about.
True.